Hey everybody, today I want to give you my top 3 favorite podcasts.
Have a great day, love you.
Bye.
This is Parker, we're having lunch. Parker's one of our small group leaders with our 6th grade boys, right?
6th grade boys.
He is killing it. Now these are not specific youth ministry podcasts. I'm going to do a whole nother video on my best youth ministry podcasts. But these are my just top 3 podcasts that I listen to on a regular basis that are encouraging and helpful for me in my life. So, number 1 is the Carey Nieuwhof Leadership Podcast. This podcast is designed specifically for church leaders, not specifically for youth pastors, but for church leaders, and I love this thing. I'm telling you, like almost every week, this thing is super relevant, helpful, encouraging to me as a church leader. And if you lead in the church in any capacity, I think you will love the Carey Nieuwhof Leadership Podcast. It comes out every week. He interviews like the most famous people in the church leadership world, but also people who are not famous, but have some really good things that everybody needs to hear from them. And so my favorite one that I listen to the most, Carey Nieuwhof Leadership Podcast. Love that thing. Number 2 favorite one is the Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast.
This is the Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast.
Well, I'm honored to have you back for another episode of the Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast.
Craig Groeschel leads Life Church, biggest church in America these days. Craig Groeschel is one of the top leaders in the world right now, I would argue, particularly in the church world. And so he has some great things to say. His podcast, it only comes out maybe like once a month or every other week or something like that. But his are not as long as Carey Nieuwhof's. They're shorter, but just packed with solid, like gold leadership content, I would say. And Craig Groeschel is like the kind you got to listen to multiple times to get everything that they have going on in them. Highly recommend Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast. My third one that I want to recommend is the Rich Roll Podcast. Now, the Rich Roll Podcast is not a Christian podcast. I just got to warn you on that, but I would challenge you that it is helpful and good to listen to podcasts that are not from your perspective and your worldview. But one of the things that I love about Rich Roll's podcast is that he brings on all different kinds of guests and he's interviewing them and from all different faith perspectives, from all different backgrounds, from all different and there's such a variety, and some of them I completely disagree with in their faith or their stance on this or that, but it's really helpful to listen to them because they have these long conversations. Rich Roll's podcast is long, sometimes 2-3 hours long. But a lot of really great guests on there. Fascinating stuff to listen to. He has endurance athletes on there. He has nutrition people on there. He has social advocacy people on there. He has media people on, like all sorts of different sort of people. So a lot of good stuff on nutrition if you're looking for that. A lot of good stuff on endurance sports if you're looking for that. A lot of stuff on faith. But Rich Roll is a fascinating listen. Check out a few episodes. I think you might like it. I love it. It challenges me in a lot of different ways and educates me in a lot of different things as well. So there's my top 3 favorite podcasts. Hopefully those ones are helpful for you. Carey Nieuwhof, Craig Groeschel, and Rich Roll. 3 podcasts definitely worth your time. Go download them, give them a listen, and let me know what you think. Love to hear your favorite podcasts. There's millions of them out there these days, so it's hard to figure out which ones to listen to. So give me your tips on what podcasts you love. Anyways, it's Friday. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.